everybody does music these days because I feel like the people who are pushed to the forefront, especially when it comes to our music, people who don't have talent. If you're a smart musician, it's more about the business. It's not about being famous or getting signed. Have another job, right?
Yeah.
Have another job that funds your music. Keep doing your music because it does something for you. Do it because it does something for you, not because you want it to do or be like a way out of the trenches, so to speak. Do it because it heals you, it fixes you. It doesn't matter if nobody's listening to you. Just keep working on it because it fixes or it touches something inside you.
Welcome to the Talk to Ake podcast. My name is Ake. I'm always excited whenever I have a very exciting guest in the studio with me. This one I like so much because he's Nigerian.
Yeah.
British Nigerian. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, he is an artist and owner of Treble Media right here in the UK. R&B soul musician based in Cardiff and originally a Nigerian. I love the sound of R&B anyway. Please help me welcome David Adonis.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming through. How you feeling?
I feel good. I feel pretty warm.
Yeah.
Contrast to when I came in, I was freezing. Yeah.
With your jacket.
Yeah, it's like
you look fly, by the way.
It's like 100% Asiatic raccoon.
I know, bro. Come on. There's a thing with Nigerians. People say here in the UK that we're always on flick when it comes to fashion. Is there a reason behind that?
Naturally, like we just know how to dress. Nigeria and like Africans is just a very visual. We're flamboyant. We like to express ourselves through clothing for everything. So I think that's where it comes from.
Good, amazing. So I'm going to ask you this because it's a lot you're doing at the same time. You own a business, you're an artist, you fight as well.
I used to, yeah.
Oh, you used to? Okay, great. So I'm going to ask, how do you manage all of this at the same time? Is there some jack of all trade thing going on?
I don't manage it. I wing it, bro.
What? You wing it?
But you just take every day as it comes. Like even... you just have to have a baseline of gratitude and a baseline of like, what's the worst that could happen? So I feel like God gives you just as much as you can handle. And how I was raised is if somebody can do it, you can. Anybody, if there's somebody doing something, you're able to. So I try not to, I'm not somebody who gets stressed easily. And I feel like the more I can do, the more I will try to do. But yeah, I take it each day as it comes.
Nice. Let's dive straight into it. You have a new song. Your newest single is actually called YouTube, and it's on YouTube. Did you do that on purpose?
I did.
See what I did there?
I see what you did. It's what I did. So
okay, cool. So you can relate. So can you talk us through that song? You said it was made in the trenches, is it?
Made in the trenches, big boss. Yeah, that's a line from a cover I did called Taliban's. You can check that out. Check that out on YouTube. And so basically YouTube, I did this song almost like this time last year.
Okay.
It's actually the original song is coming out, has been out, but the video is coming out in a few weeks. This was a cover from a guy called T.I. Blaze, who's a Nigerian musician. I was in the car listening to his song and I was, my song can go on this one. So I added my song to his song and did like a remix. So that's what this is now. This is to set the stage for the other song, the original that's coming out in a few weeks. So I shot this video for the cover. I shot that in February this year. So it took me maybe like 8 months to bring it out, but it's here and people are loving it. So.
Yeah, people are loving it, to be fair. I like the sound of it. And it's kind of hard for the new school, to vibe to soul music. How do you handle that? Soul music is, I'm not going to say it's for the old, but I mean, it's hard. People vibe to Afrobeat music, dancehall. I mean, the Africans really vibe to dancehall. Do you ever get like, maybe I should jump to do like some Afrobeat, or you just want to stick to soul?
So I do a mix of R&B and Afrobeats. That's kind of like I'm trying to blend the genres.
Yeah.
And shout out to people like Chris Brown who have brought, and Wizkid, David Adonis, Burna Boy, who have brought Afrobeats to the main stage. But going back to someone like Chris Brown, he's been able to blend both and really show what Afrobeats can do on the world stage. So, and I feel like the world is big enough. You can't really try and compromise you can't please everybody.
Exactly.
There's going to be somebody who's going to like whatever dish you're serving, and you just have to make sure you master your craft so that you can give them a really good experience.
Yeah. True about it, because the likes of Wizkid, Burna, Rama, they're all doing very great. And the thing with young Africans growing up, they want to get into. I mean, you've been doing this for a very long time. I mean, you're like an OG in the game right here in Cardiff and stuff. For young Africans that want to do this, How do you know that this is your calling? How do you know that music is for you? Because don't get me wrong, some people go into music because of the fame, because they want to be like others. How do you know it is real?
It's like, who's left? Everybody does music these days because I feel like the people who are pushed to the forefront, especially when it comes to our music, people who don't have talent, and they have all my
People who don't
conspiracies.
have talent.
So you look at, like,
That's a huge statement.
when you're talking about hip hop and R
Yeah.
and B, well, not necessarily R and B, but like America is like the hub of like contemporary
yeah.
black music, and the people who are the biggest stars there, it's like, bro, what are you saying? Like they have on lean and stuff, and these are the people who are being presented to the world like these are the best. But there's also a lot of talented people who are struggling and they busk. I used to busk to perfect my stage presence and stuff. It's about how far are you willing to go, what are you willing to sacrifice, and how long will you keep doing it for without getting recognition.
Yeah.
So nowadays, I feel like music, if you're a smart musician, it's more about the business. It's not about being famous or getting signed, because that's not gonna really. It's like a loan. My take on music is like, you do it because you love it. You do it if you weren't. I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
And I don't want to jump ahead of the gun. But what I would say to young people: have another job, right?
Yeah.
Have another job that funds your music. Keep doing your music because it does something for you. Do it because it does something for you, not because you want it to do or be like a way out of the trenches, so to speak. Do it because it heals you, it fixes you. It doesn't matter if nobody's listening to you. Just keep working on it because it fixes or it touches something inside you, and that's what's
You know
gonna
what?
keep you going.
I'm loving this conversation right now because you just answered my next question, because I was going to ask you, do you have a 9 to 5? Because it's a lot of individual, input financially and all of that to push your music. And most of the young lads that watch celebrities online and want to be like them, they forget about school, they forget about every other thing, and just want to focus on music. That's all right. That's all right. But when you don't have a plan B, what if? That's what I'm saying. Is it good enough to just depend on your talent for survival, especially when you're in a place like the UK as an African, to just want to do music alone?
Yeah, so I think it depends on where you are in life. If you have no responsibilities and you're pretty young and you don't have to pay for any bills, then go for it. Move to London, move to wherever the hub is, whatever city is the biggest, wherever you're from, and try and push it, try and connect, network with people, keep working, putting out tracks consistently. It's consistency that will, is that the consistency? Yeah, that's what's
Consistency, yeah.
going to get you forward. But if you have responsibilities, you need a job. You need to have a way to pay your bills, because otherwise you're going to be on the street and you can't help anybody by being on the street. I'll just briefly talk about my career. So when I started making music, I was paying a lot for videographers, for album covers, for producers.
Yeah.
And I realized that the best way for me is to minimize how many people are in between the idea in my head and the finished product.
Yeah.
So I started Treble TV, Treble Media, and I started to make my own videos. I started to edit and do my own stuff. And it's just so beautiful because I'm in control of the whole process, except for the mixing and mastering, and that's yet to come. And then I can offer my services to other musicians, to businesses, and I can make money to then go 360 back into my music. So I think approaching music as a business, having the hat of like an artist, but also a businessman, is the best way to go for young people.
Fantastic. I mean, I feel like you've said it all, to be fair, because being on the street and doing music, and you just want to put all your hope and all your eggs in one basket. This is what leads to certain things like rappers being caught with drugs at the airport. You've heard stories about some UK rappers being caught at the airport with drugs, and there are a lot of young people watching that. What's your take on that?
People put people on pedestals. Even the musicians, you have like, what's the lady, Amy Winehouse, she died, like these are human beings and they have flaws. But the way it's set up, they put them as gods, and young people, impressionable people, look to them for how to live their lives. But I think people need a good family system. They need to respect the people around them, especially their parents. Listen to what their parents say. Don't put these rappers and musicians on pedestals because they're incomplete people. So in our culture as well, you have drug dealers, you have rappers and gangsters, and for some reason these are the guys who are put forward as the best when they're not the best. But we have to understand that they are still in development and have compassion for them. And just everybody needs to work on being who they are. They need to understand and figure out who they are. Spend time with yourself, appreciate yourself, love yourself, understand that you're not perfect. And when you get that understanding within yourself, you will also be able to understand these people at the top more. And rather than look to them for acceptance or validation or worship them, you understand they're just like you and you appreciate them and have more like compassion for them, I guess.
Bro, this is what if you've just said everything that I've been, screaming and talking about, because you just said something about them being a process. They put out there and they're not, complete products.
Yeah.
And then what happens is when they find themselves, they live a better life because they have all the resources to do that.
Yeah.
And then you look up to them, and then you just end up being, one of those people out there. And these people, they've, defined yourself and then start a new life and all of that. Well, last word for the young people. That's all I'm going to say. Last words from you.
So what I would say, just to tie it, is like you look at somebody like Juice WRLD, and Juice WRLD was somebody who was so talented. He could freestyle, he could rap, he could do whatever, but he was fed drugs by his record label executives because all they care about is make us more, make us more.
Yeah.
Now he's influenced a lot, like the generation coming out, they love his music. Triple X is another one. But these are people who needed guidance and they're all gone. But somehow the taste of their life is so sweet to these young people, because a lot of these young people are lost. They don't really know who to be, what to be. There's a lot of drugs, and people don't really, there's no roadmap for life.
Yeah.
What I would say is like, embrace the things that are free, like air, like taking a walk, like the trees around you, because these things, they feed you, like nature feeds you, try and embrace yourself. Don't try and be something else, because the people you're trying to be like, all they want to do is be free. They just want to be able to enjoy the things that you enjoy for free, and they don't. So fame is not all that it's cut out to be, fame isn't, and money can fix things.
Yeah.
But the things that the best thing in life is are free, so just appreciate the love of your loved ones, whatever you have, your dog, your pets, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your dad, your mom, because one day everything we see will be gone. So just take each day as it comes and just love life and love yourself.
I'm going to pick that for the highlight of this particular episode. Love life. Thank you so much, David.
And love yourself.
And love yourself. Thank you so much, David. It's been a
welcome.
pleasure. I'm definitely going to bring you on the podcast again for us to talk more about this. Thank you so much. This is Talk to RK. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Be there. And don't forget to stream his new music. YouTube. You can stream Taliban as well. Great music.
David Adonis on everything. Big Boss David Adonis on Instagram, on TikTok. I'm on TikTok, for God's sake. Snapchat, everything, YouTube. You can find me there.
Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.